Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to another edition of Camps Chats on the Farm. Hey, let me start by saying this. Very first thing, I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you that continue to support this mission, liking, sharing, getting that message out. It's pretty much every single week somebody contacts me through a message letting me know how much that week's message meant to them, how it helped them in a situation. And I just want you to know that each and every one of us are a part of this. So please continue to support this and help this mission. I think it's great. So let me jump straight into this week's topic real quick. And that is the victimization of a perpetual victim status. I want you to think about that for just a second. Now, each and every one of us can think about a time that we've been a victim of something, whether it's a circumstance that we created, or maybe we didn't create. Maybe it was something that just happens, right? So we could think about illness. We could think about egregious acts against people. You know, there's a lot of moments that we didn't ask for. We didn't do anything wrong. In fact, maybe we did everything right and the situation still took place that definitely didn't go in our favor. Now, the perpetual victim status is this, that we start to allow that to become who we are. That starts to seep into our minds that there's nothing more we can do to control it. And so then we start to live our life in a pessimistic view, and we continue to make mistakes that could have been avoided, but our mind won't let us go there. And I want to give you guys a story. I feel like life is best lived through stories. I'm talking straight to myself about this. So many times I find myself in a rut, and I feel like, man, I've done this and I've done this. That wasn't fair. And then I can think about that over and over. But I have to remind myself, no, you have control of your future. What has happened to me has nothing to do with what I am becoming. Our future's in front of us. It's not behind us. What happened back yesterday should never determine where we're going to stay. It should always determine where we're going to go. We use that. We learn from that. And that's how we move forward. I'm going to give you all a quick story, and then we're going to be wrapping up for this week. I recently sold my camper. This is a true story. It just happened recently. I recently sold my camper. Seems simple enough, easy enough. Funny thing was, the guy that bought my camper, he needed some help getting it to where he lived at. So I pulled the camper down there for him. And then I ended up with a flat tire. And I'm going to tell you something. I truly believe God puts us in places to experience moments, to experience things that if we're not keeping our eyes open, maybe we'd miss that. Maybe we'd miss it and we wouldn't be able to share that with others. And this was a great moment. I had a flat tire, so clearly I was not happy about that on the camper. So I called for my roadside assistance thinking this would be quick, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was hours. It took hours. But meanwhile, I got to hang out with this guy that was buying my camper. Now, he may follow me now. I'm not sure, but I don't want to tell you his personal name. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a story that touched me, and it really showed me just how much we are in control of our future. This gentleman is buying my camper, and we start talking about where we've come from, what our lives are like, what our past was. Finds out that I was a firefighter paramedic, and he shares with me that where he's at now has no reflection of where he used to be. You see, some years ago, he made some mistakes. He didn't share with me exactly what those mistakes were, but he spent 14 years in prison. Spent 14 years in prison, and he was kind of labeled like he was never going to become anything else. But let me tell you something. This guy got out. He made the decision that he was going to move forward. He was going to let his past be a lesson, but he was not going to continue to live that. So he went to college. He got his bachelor's degree. Then he got his master's degree. And he was buying my camper to move to Mississippi State for his PhD. Here's a man that could have used his past as a crutch for the rest of his life, feeling like everybody and everything was against him. But instead, he is getting his doctorate's degree to go help others realize that anything is possible. Where you are today has nothing to do with where you can be tomorrow. It's up to you. We're all victims of stuff. Life is not fair. It's not fair. But don't let that be your crutch. Don't let that be the thing that keeps you down and moving forward and being a better person. This guy touched my heart, man. I'm just blown away. I'm hoping he'll come on and talk sometime. But let that be a lesson to you. Anything can be possible. You just have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be willing to work for it. And like I said, don't remain a victim. Perpetual victim status is, in fact, a victimization. That's all I've got this week, guys. I hope you like this message. Man, I tell you what, when I started thinking about it, I gave myself goosebumps. This guy really motivated me. And it's, if he hadn't have made that decision, I would have never got to know him. If I hadn't had a flat tire, I'd have never got to know him. so glad that those moments happen. All right, continue to watch, continue to like, continue to share. Boom, next week, Motivate with Coach Camp, baby. As always, be good to one another.